Right, so we're just proceeding from what we were talking about yesterday. Almost everything that we discussed yesterday actually went according to our expectation. Euro USD, we did speak about it. We are not going to repeat exactly as we said, but we're just going to do a recap as well as see how it has evolved, how it has moved from the discussion that we did yesterday. Euro USD, if you remember my words exactly yesterday, those who are smart enough to also pay attention when we are talking like this, they literally made a very good money, even if it came back here to the same entry point, you would have still made money even if you bought again there. So yeah, yesterday the entry point that I gave you all live here was literally, I think it was around here on this box here. That was where, and I said once we close outside of that once we close above that level there, you can even buy. Even if you bought immediately there and you put your stop loss below here, still you are still going to make this profit. So even if upon the pullback there you entered more trades, you're still okay. You are still okay. You would have still made money. That was very, very simple, a very simple trade. So it came back even here today. Still, it continued buying. Still, I'm still having the same buyers that is still coming all the way to our zone there. So if you bought yesterday as we spoke, you made money. Even if it came back here, you bought again, you still made money. So Euro USD still obeying everything. So same thing now with the GBP USD. Once Euro USD gets here, once you get that shift to the downside, you can even start selling it from up there. Once it gives us that downside shift, you can literally start also selling it from there, the same way GBP USD did. Right. So Euro USD, we are done there. GBP USD, if you followed also instructions there, you definitely also made money in sales. I believe it actually did exactly as we actually had spoken, whereby we said once we get to that level there, or once we tap into that zone, once we tap into that zone, it was around here yesterday. Then I said once it steps into that zone, all you just need is a shift, of which the 1 hour shift in this case, the shift here that I just wanted on the 1 hour was literally the taking out of that low. So immediately upon that, you could have even started selling GBPUSD. I also gave another signal in the VIP group. Yes, it actually did drop, but now it's just pulling back, but it's still playing within the same range. We can't really say it has gone anywhere. It has gone anywhere. It hasn't really gone anywhere serious. Even if you look at the 4 hour structure or the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, the shift is literally around here where my arrow is. Let me see. Let me remove the arrow. Let me just put a line to show you that to see if ever on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, the shift here, let's see. Right on the 4 hour, they've sort of like closed below this line, which is also potential for sales. Is still there, is still there. There are no changes as yet. No changes as yet. So on the 4 hour, it literally closed there. And if ever you followed even from the 1 hour, is the 1 hour shifted, then you enter even upon the 1 hour shift, you realize that you could have even sold all the way up, all the way up here. That was where you could have immediately upon the market closing below, even if you entered here and you put your stop loss just here, you would have still made this profit, all this profit just from there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost close to 10, if not 11 hours or so, just running in profit from there. So that was it there. Currently, we can't really say there's any change to the bias. There is no changes yet. There is no changes yet to the bias. There is no change as yet because on the 4 hour, they've literally also done the shift. Let me see 8 hour time frame. 8 hour time frame, they've also there's also kind of closed below here. So yeah, there is still room for it to still selling up until so long your bias is still intact like that. On the 3 hour, they literally shifted here, right? That's it.
Oh,
3 hour. I don't know who's making noise. Can you please mute your mics? Who's this? I don't know who's making noise. Please mute your mics. Right. So we are still maintaining the overall selling bias. We are still maintaining the selling bias. It hasn't changed. Nothing has changed as yet. I believe tomorrow, if we get a chance tomorrow before some few hours before NFP, we'll also look into it as well and see if ever there are any changes as yet. But so far, the the bearish bias is still there intact on GBP USD. So Euro USD is also coming to the level as well for the sell. So what you just want to see now on Euro USD is the same thing that happened on GBP USD, whereby you just go to a 1 hour time frame like this. Once you get the shift like that, then you can sell there, even if let's say 30 minute, I believe it actually shifted earlier. It's actually almost the same zone there. So immediately upon this candle closing below this level, that's where maybe you could have sold here, stop loss just here, like that. So all of this profit was just simple, easy profit that was just, if ever you really follow the instructions, you definitely also made that good money. So yeah, if ever we're just going to look at some structural information that we can even add on here on 30 minute. That was sort of like a break. Then here, that's sort of like a change to the downside. So they can most probably, if ever they can come here. Once they come there, wait for that shift again, a shift similar to this same shift here. This same shift here that happened to the left side of things. Once you get back to that level there where it's actually going now, all you do, you literally sell upon the same shift here. Same thing that happened here. Once we come back here and you do the same shift, you sell from there. So this is the current bias. They broke there, they came. So yet this was sort of like a shift, or someone can call it an adjustment, blah blah. Then they broke. Then here they did the adjustment as well as the change. So yeah, once they get there, once they shift, definitely it will just be a continuation all the way to the downside. But so far, looking at structure, even from the 8 hour, 4 hour, there is no change basically to the bias that we had since yesterday. Because on the 4 hour, this whole, if you look at this blue candle here, it was holding all these three candles there. We actually consider them as part of the blue. So when you're looking at structure like this blue candle is basically the candle that we're looking at. So its low is that, its high is that. So after taking out its low like that, we now have new lows here. So even if we pull back there, we are not violating structure at all. That's why I told you on the 30 minute, even 1 hour, once you get to that point or to that level there, you can actually, on the 1 hour, the level is literally, let me put it, it's somewhere around here. So once they get to that level and they give you that shift, definitely you can even enter sales if you're not in sales. Right. So GBPUSD, that's it. Let's go to something different. EU, I spoke about it as well. That's buying nicely, buying nicely. This one, even if you bought where we spoke about yesterday, you made this profit. Even if you bought again here, Still profit. Very easy trades. You always ask, you always wonder, so how are people not really making money out of the charts? Because it's one thing to not know what's happening. It's another thing to not know what's happening after you've been told. Not knowing what's happening after you've been told what's happening. That's a total different situation whereby that there now it's only your own stubborn head which will be a problem. Because if ever we tell you that this is A, B, C, and D is happening, because you don't know what's happening. Let's say you don't know what's happening. Then you tell you A, B, C, and D is happening. Then you tell you once this happens, you do this. Once this happens, you do. And then that happens that we spoke about, and you don't act on it. That's now beyond us now. It's a situation that will now be beyond myself, because if you can't follow a simple instruction like that, somehow it will basically be meaning that you yourself, you have a lot of issues to deal with. So now looking at US 30, looking at US 30, still on the same. It hasn't really done anything interesting lately. I can't say it has done anything interesting lately. Let me go to the weekly. There's nothing interesting lately that we can say, I this is a major thing that US that has done lately. If you go to the weekly, this is a level that we are targeting to take out, right? So this is our previous candle. Our previous candle is literally this one. Its high is here, its low is here. So I can even mark that range like this. If I mark this range like this, tomorrow, most probably, most probably you might be shocked to find this market, obviously upon confirmation. As I said, tomorrow, if we get time, we are going to have a session some hours before NFP. So it's still within a selling range according to the weekly. This is all a selling range. So if ever the lower time frames give you confirmation there, this can literally drop nicely up until, so they will basically maintain that structure up until they finish the whole movement to take out that level. So when you go lower now, you are going lower with an understanding of the current range that you're focusing on. If you go to the daily, for example, on the daily already we can see an additional information there. We can literally see that we have a supply area here. I can see a supply area right here where it's almost tapping there. Wait, that's actually tapped, which is good. So once you see that, then you get a proper shift, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Once you get a proper shift there, definitely that will basically be selling a selling opportunity, basically. So all of these things that I'm telling you are things that you don't just wake up knowing these things. There are people who are so ignorant to an extent that you think that your trading will elevate naturally just like that from nowhere, whereby you one day you will just wake up knowing. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that whereby one of the days you just wake up a genius to say, hey, guys, I now know what's happening. And no, there's nothing like that. It doesn't happen. So these are things that you have to see them, you have to hear about them, you have to be taught for you to know them. Some of these things, some of them you can even experience them for you to learn them. So there are different, obviously there are different ways of learning. So here, once you get a proper shift there, tomorrow you might be shocked, our NFP will basically be sales. Looking at EU, once it turns bearish up there, we're looking at most probably sales. What I'm saying, I'm just saying based on the current data that we have currently. EU, once it gets up there where we want it and gives us a shift, definitely that will be sell. GU already it has done that. Which one else? Then this one, US 30, US 30. Once it also does there, you're talking about sales. Then you see NAS, you also see NASDAQ most likely, and also gold most likely the same situation. We are going just to see all of that, right? We're just going to show you some of those things that we're talking about here. So this is just in preparation for tomorrow. You don't need to necessarily wait for NFP to enter trades. If you ask or if ever one of the days you get a privilege of being part of the VIP group, you see that even on days whereby we have major news, you might actually see me giving a signal in the morning, a signal, the same signal, and that same signal will be the same direction that the market will even take during during the entire news session. Um, I don't know where is this now. Can you please mute your mics? Please, please, please. Right. So US 30, that's the current level that we're looking at. Let me go to 4 hour. Let me see if there's anything interesting. Nothing interesting as yet. So this is a very beautiful supply area there that they've almost touched. They've touched, unless they want to get inside here to this other minor level here. If they want to push even further here, it's also still fine. But you just wait patiently up until they do that. So yeah, they are sort of like still pushing, still pushing. Even here, if you mark on the 2 hour, it's literally around there. Yeah. So you just mark your levels like that, then you just wait for the price to come to those levels. Once it gets to those levels, then you strike. So yeah, there's nothing as yet, nothing interesting as yet. It tried to shift yesterday, but it didn't sustain, in the sense that here, if ever they're going to sustain, they were not supposed to take out this high like what they did there. If ever they're going to sustain, like here, they did that shift, then they came back to the level there. They also failed here to shift properly here. So that failure to shift properly here is most probably the reason why they didn't sell. That's the reason why they didn't sell. If ever they really shifted there, they were basically going to sell up until they take out this as well as that. So one of the reasons why they didn't do that is because of this failure here. This failure here. They literally drop, failed to do that. That's not a coincidental move. People, they think most of these moves that are happening on the charts is coincidence. There's no coincidence. Even on the charts, even in real life, there's no coincidence whereby things happen by coincidence. No. So they failed to take out that level. They literally shifted bullish here, which was also a buying opportunity, minor buying opportunity that one could have taken. So currently, I'm just waiting for that proper shift to the downside. If it wants to keep pushing further into here, it's also fine. But want to get that proper shift to the downside, because here they are still maintaining this high here. So literally, if you're just using the 2 hour, you're looking at if you're using the 2 hour, you're literally looking at this. Then if you go to the 1 hour, 1 hour, they've sort of like taken out that level. So on the 1 hour, you're basically looking at this one. So this level, once you see them taking out that level, definitely it will be time to strike sells. So tomorrow, it's a very interesting day, very, very interesting day. Most of the things that will be happening tomorrow, they are not a coincidence. Like, the purpose of us having these sessions like this is to prove to you that even what you call news, it's just something that is overrated for nothing, but it's all it basically follows the idea of order flow and the idea of structure. So that's what we are looking into tomorrow on US 30. I'm just still stuck in this range. Once you get proper shifts to the downside, definitely will take sales there. Looking at Nasdaq, looking at Nasdaq, looking at Nasdaq, looking at Nasdaq. Nasdaq also, it literally broke our daily high, which is not a problem, which is not a problem at all. Let me go to the weekly, see if it broke the weekly. The weekly, it hasn't fully. Right. So what will happen tomorrow now? Let me just use the weekly example here. If you check the weekly candle, this candle, it hasn't closed. It has one day, like the rest of tomorrow, for it to close. Tomorrow, don't be shocked when you see this weekly candle closing below this red line here that I'm putting here, because of what happened here. If you look at this candle, the high and the low there, they literally took out the low and made a new low. So based on that on that movement that happened there, the potential of them selling, according to the weekly, is actually counted as possible, right? Still within that range. So that's why I'm saying most probably this weekly candle can literally close below this level. For it to close below there, it means Nasdaq would have sold, right? So when you have that idea now, even if I go to the daily, I go to the 4 hour, I go to the lower time frames, I'm going there with that understanding now. So here, let me go to 4 hour. On the 4 hour, this is also the same level that you're looking at. That's the level that you're wanting to be taken out is literally here. Once they close below there, definitely those cells can actually be facilitated. Once they close below there, definitely boom, it will just be droppings after droppings after droppings up until if they want to change here, definitely they'll change. Maybe give you a pullback if they want to. Uh, just like that. Let me do this. What's this now? Right. So this is the current situation on the Nasdaq there. That's the current situation on the Nasdaq. That's the current situation there on the Nasdaq that we're looking into right there. So once they close below this 4 hour level, definitely tomorrow NFP to be a very, 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 very sweet sell. So if you notice most of these pairs that I've looked into so far, they are all giving you that sell idea, sell idea, sell idea. Uh, they are all pointing in the same direction or same idea of sales. So same thing here on the 1 hour. On the 2 hour, I mean, the most important level is also that one. Once they close below fully there, definitely tomorrow we can have sweet sales to the downside. So if they haven't broken there, you can literally wait for them to fully do that. On the 1 hour, I'm not so sure if they're fully broken here because there's too much. So many candles there that are stuck there. Let me go to the 3 hour. Right, on the 3 hour, they haven't fully, yeah, they haven't. So the most important thing there, I can literally say it's the 2 hour level there that we are just, once they fully close below there, we definitely have some beautiful action. So Nasdaq, that's it. US 30, that's it. Gold, looking at gold, let me remove my analysis here so that I don't confuse you. Looking at the weekly, if you look gold on the weekly, it almost did as the same situation with Nasdaq. Almost the same situation with Nasdaq, whereby they literally here. I wonder if they really took out they slightly, that was a slight close below there. That was a slight close below there. Okay, but they came back to the same level. They came back to the same. They came back there, and here you can see that this low they literally took it the previous week, which was last week. So them doing this now, already now, that's also an idea that potentially we can actually have beautiful cells that will come and attack this to the downside. Can you do Euro USD? Hey, my time now. My time is not on my side. I don't have time to do all those other pairs. My time is not on my side. Time is not on my side to cover all those. Most of the pairs that you guys will be wanting me to cover are pairs that you can go and actually look into them. Then after you look into them, you can even ask me after to say, this is what I saw, blah blah. That's a much better way of doing it than to say, hey, look into this, look into this. Um, so here we are I can say my range because here, if you notice here, this low, this one, they didn't fully take it out. So the range is too big here. Or I can just let me limit it to this order block here where it starts here. Let me just put it like this. But it's literally all a selling range. But now, if you go lower like that, you can see that they've literally touched the beginning of the institutional move there. The ending, actually, not the beginning, which is this one. So there's that level, then there's also another level there. What I can even tell you now, and to actually be honest, using the experience that I have on the charts, gold, this structure, this whole structure, even on the daily here, this is still a bearish structure, considering the fact that this, if you look at this daily candle here, this high and this low, all of these is considered as a pullback. It's actually considered as minor structure. So the main structure is still bearish, which is this one. So potentially tomorrow you might be shocked when you see serious drops like this. Then after they drop and get whenever they want to get to, then they'll come back for that one. like this, something like this. This is the structure that I'm currently having now on gold. So those are my setups. And one of the things that I'll try to do, I'll try to upload the video earlier tonight, if possible, so that you can rewatch, so that some of the things that we did speak about, once you see them happening, you can easily act on them and literally make profit from them because we would have spoken about them. So this is also my current expectation on gold is still this one. The fact that they haven't changed anything there on the daily, it's also a reason why most likely I'm looking forward for them to drop from that level where they are, drop from there, then we bounce back from the top like that. Right. So that's it. That's it mainly. So on the here, all you do, you just go to the lower time frame, 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, something like on US 30. So that's the level there. That's the level, that's the level, that's the level, that's the level, that's the 4 hour level then, of which let me go to the 2 hour. Right. So that's our level there. So if you notice here, they shifted, they so the most important zone now, based on where they are now, is also this one. Once they fully close below here, definitely you know that we can literally have sells to the downside on gold. So all of this structure, it will basically be looked at as basically so once we close below here, definitely we can actually have nice sells on gold. I think they've touched this. If they touched, fully touched, yeah, they've touched that supply area there. That's why most probably they are dropping. Most probably. So on the 1 hour, what I like is that they did this shift first. They dropped, came back up the same level. So on the 1 hour, the most important level is just this one. Once they close below there, definitely. So it's actually a good pattern that they literally displayed there on the 1 hour. It's a very, very good, beautiful, very beautiful pattern that they literally did there. So once they fully close below there, they'll actually be going down. Right. So that's it. That's it. Let's look at the DXY. Let's look at the DXY to see if there's any change on it based on what we discussed yesterday. Let's look at the DXY to see if there's any changes. Is there any changes that it did from what we discussed yesterday? From our discussion yesterday, there is nothing that has really changed. We are still on the same zone. Same zone. We're still on the same zone on the DXY. And let's go to the 8 hour. We're still on the same level, still on the same level. It hasn't changed anything. Let me go to the 4 hour. Right. 4 hour, what I like is that at least I have some bit of upside confirmations that are coming into play, which is good because once you have an understanding of what the DXY is literally trying to do or what it's doing. It means even during NFP tomorrow, you want to have any challenges. So they shifted there, they went up, they came back again, they took out this high. So the level that we are not expecting them to close below is literally, I can say this whole, this line and this line. That's the current level that we're not expecting them to close below. So you just be monitoring also the DXY for the overall main direction of your NFP. You can even get it straight away from there. So that's the current situation there. And also up here, I can say I also want them to close above here. So they literally have some some work to do, but I like the formations that have happened here and as well as here. Once you see them moving nicely and coming above there, it's actually a good situation. So far, we're just playing around there. Then you just monitor it tomorrow where it's going to be at. Right. So what else do we need to look at? Let's look at So synthetic pairs, I gave you a sell in the morning on volatility 75, which is literally in profit right now because the sell I gave it around it was around here. I think it was actually around here. So it has just started moving almost now. So right now, almost everyone who literally participated in that sell, definitely you are currently actually swimming in profit. So it still has a room to move. Let me just quickly show you what the idea behind the cells and also behind the whole move. I think I also did a, an analysis on what do you call this? I think I did an analysis that other day whereby I showed you that I'm looking forward for the market to come here. Once it comes there, then I'm looking forward to swing buys. Yeah, I actually spoke about swing buys on week 75 up to that level up there. So let me see here to the left. They did this. Then here, this was the high. They literally took out the high. Then they made a new high, which is this one. They took out this high. They made this new high. Came down. Broke that one. So they literally did some form of structure shifting to the because here now they haven't in as much as they haven't fully closed above here on the daily, which is not a big problem, but on the other lower time frames, they've literally done a shift. Which is also so here. The idea is to come back into this demand, then we fly out. So once we come there, we always wait for confirmation before jumping in, as usual. If you go to the 8 hour now, that's where you basically see more of clean structure there, whereby you can see that they broke to the downside, then they came went all the way. They literally closed above here. So which is the change of character there. So after the change of character, most likely you're looking for them to come down. The daily level is this one, but obviously here we're going to just refine it to that fair value gap as well as the demand, which is here. Then once we tap there, then we strike our buys. Our first short-term target is literally the previous highs, which is this one. But that's not a cue to say once we get there, you exit. No, you don't need to exit. That's a short-term one. Once it breaks above there, it will literally present new structure. So once it comes properly nicely, to basically push, 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 push. Once they want to take out that, then definitely they'll take it out like that. So it's actually that's why I said it's a swing buy. So that's the idea behind the swing buy. Then the current trade that I gave you, the current sell trade that I gave you. So here you literally see that they shifted to the downside. So them shifting to the downside, let me just mark some levels here so that you understand what I mean. That's a leg, that's a leg. That shift to the downside that they did, it made this a, it's actually a higher high because it's higher than this, right? So it being a higher high, if ever they took this higher high out, they were never going to pull back here because if ever now that is our higher high. Let's say here they came and broke this. They came and broke this. They were going only to pull back within this, then continue going up. They were never going to come there. So in order for them to come here, they were not supposed to, like what they did here. So them not doing that, that was actually a selling opportunity from here. You would have sold from there. You would have taken sales from there, from that level there. So yeah, obviously the short term level that you are looking for them to break to the downside is literally this one. That's the short-term level that you're looking forward for them to break. In order for them to break that, they literally have to maintain bearish order flow. If you look at your structure, that's a lower high, and this is the lower low. If you mark that range, it's all a selling range from here to here. This is all a selling range. If you mark your selling range like that, you literally actually understand where the idea behind the sell signal came from. So that's almost it there. That's it there. So if you go to 1 hour, after you mark your range like that, if you go to the 1 hour, you can even align structure. You can see that was a break of structure here. they came back to this extreme supply here. You would have taken sales from that extreme supply, right? Then after taking sales from that extreme supply, so this is sort of like the short-term structure that you are seeing here on the 1 hour. Let me clone this. So they are coming for this leg here. They're literally coming for this leg, but you know that your target, you're looking for something somewhere like below here. So after coming to the extreme there, they did this first shift to the downside. Then they came back to the zone. They shifted again. That's where I actually saw the first beginning sales. I literally saw them right there, where you could have sold there, put your stop loss above this level like this. Obviously, short-term TP is here. Second one is literally there. Then the signal that I gave you, it was just it was just a continuation move, whereby you literally can see that we are basically still selling. We're basically still selling. If you look at this as they were coming down, that's a high, that's a low. All of this was a pullback. This other range, which is here, that's still a selling range there. All of these candles were basically a pullback. So that being a pullback and me knowing that that's a pullback, when I saw the market around there, when it sort of like did a shift here, someone might not see it, but the shift is actually there. They did a shift here, then they came back there. That was where the signal was almost given there. So that was the idea. And now you're just holding up until we take out this. Once you take out this, you can even protect your trades up there. And then you just hold up until there. So that's the whole entire idea behind the sell that was given, behind that sell that was given on VIX 75. Right. So I think we are done. My time is up. My time is up. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That was just an extra confirmation that you could have also added on that position there. Right. So that's it. That's it. Nothing complicated there. It's all a matter of understanding, application, understanding, and then applying consistently. That's it. What are you thinking on US Theory? I spoke about it. I did speak about US Theory. I did speak about US Theory.
A few moments later.